It's time for the Money Puzzle Podcast. With good conversations and realistic solutions to the money puzzles we all face every day. I'm your host, financial advisor, chartered financial consultant, and president of Edgen Insurance and Financial, Robert Edgen. Now let's get this show started.
Hi there, hello, and welcome to the Money Puzzle Podcast. I am Robert Edgen, and I'll be your guide for the ride for the next few minutes. Each week we look at a different piece of the money puzzle and practical ways to solve it so you can have the financial confidence you deserve and the future that you dream of. This is episode number 29, and we are finishing the conversation that we started last week about fitness, both the physical kind and the financial kind. Well, today we're going to finish that up. We have 3 more things to do to be more physically and financially fit. All right, the 4th thing that you should do, or that I have learned that works really well for me, is to follow a routine. So a few years ago, my brother and I were sitting out on my back deck. We were having a beer on a Friday night, and we got on the conversation of superheroes, Superman and Wolverine. And we were talking about, Hugh Jackman and that guy who plays Superman. I can never remember his name. But we decided that, if we had 3 months with somebody feeding us like they get fed and working us out the way they get worked out, we could do the same things that they did with their body and become like this superhero physique. So, of course, we did the only logical thing that we could do. We bet each other on who could do it better. Without having anybody to feed us and to train us, we decided to give ourselves 6 months instead of 3 because that just makes sense. It would take a little bit longer. Well, there was a big difference between what my brother did and what I did. You see, I found and followed routines. I found people who had been there and done that and the work that they had done and the way that they did it. And I systematically followed what they did in order to get the same kind of results that they had gotten. My brother decided he didn't need to do that. He just winged it. So I knew exactly what exercises I should do each day. I knew what kind of foods that I should eat. And I followed this routine and I won the bet. And really, it didn't have anything to do with, who was working harder. It's just that he was not really sure of what to do. And I wasn't either. But I found and followed a routine. Here's the deal. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Financial routines, physical routines, find somebody who has been there and done that and just do what they have done. I just met with a client here yesterday, actually, and he said, I've got 2 things I need help with. I really want to get out of debt and I want to retire at the age of 60. This is somebody who's about 40 years old. But he wanted to know, how do I do that? Or what should I do to make that happen? So we looked at what his resources were and kind of time frames, and we came up with a routine for him to do every time he had a pay period. He had certain things he got paid twice a month, certain things he would do on his first paycheck, and certain things that he would do on his second paycheck. And as long as he follows this routine, he'll accomplish his 2 goals. He'll get his debts paid off and be able to retire at age 60. There's no reason to guess about what you should be doing. Just go out and find routines that exist and find other people who have done it and just get on board with what they've already done and do it for yourself. So follow a routine. But if you cannot follow a routine or find one that works for you, or if it's not working great, that actually leads me to number 5, which is find a trainer. Your trainer is going to know the routines. They will have done all of the research. They probably made some mistakes of their own along the way, and they're going to help you speed up your results by keeping you on track better, but also keeping you on the right track better. A great way to get on the right path is to have a trainer show you how. So when I first started going to the gym and getting serious about fitness, I was pretty much run, get on the elliptical, get on the bike, sweat. That's really what I thought I needed to be doing. And that's what I did all of the time at the gym. Well, I decided that when I wasn't getting the kind of results that I wanted, that I would hire a trainer for 10 sessions who would help me out with that. It was totally different. The kind of workouts that we did had nothing to do with the bike or the elliptical or the treadmill. He had me lifting weights, and then we kind of talked through why it was good for my body type and me personally. Well, those things work for your physical health the same way that working with a financial advisor or trainer works for your financial health and fitness. Advisors are trainers for the financial world. We have already done the research. We build custom routines. We keep people from making mistakes that we've either made ourselves or have seen other clients make. So find yourself a trainer. There's a Vanguard study. We actually talked about it, I think about 20 shows ago now, that says that the average investor who works with an advisor earns about 3% more per year. And it wasn't because the advisor was just making so much better financial choices as far as the investments. No, it was because the advisor was acting like a trainer and helping them avoid mistakes and keeping people on the right path. Now, I've had people tell me that they've been embarrassed to ask for help on the financial side of their lives because, they should know what to do. They're a grown up, they should be smart enough to figure out their own money. So they were embarrassed to get help. But that's just, it doesn't make any sense. Everyone is smart in their own ways. And if you're not smart in one area, then you go find people who are. I was not really smart in the physical side of things, so I found a trainer. But think about it this way. Think if you had a heart problem that you wanted to get fixed, it doesn't make any sense to say, well, it's my body, it's my heart. I'm embarrassed to go ask that heart doctor how to fix things. No, just listen. We all are good at certain things. We're all not good at certain things. If you need the help, get the help. There are a lot of trainers out there to help you get it figured out. All right, number 6, the last one. Track and measure what you do. There's an old saying, it says, if you measure what matters always improves. If you're trying to get in physical shape, you might count your calories, or maybe you count your steps throughout the day. For me, I like to count my macros and make sure that I get the right grams of proteins and fats and carbs. But if you're not tracking, how do you know you're getting the right amounts? If you have somebody tell you, or if you research and find out, hey, in order to get into good physical fitness, good shape, I need to eat 2,000 calories per day. Well, if you don't measure anything that you eat, how do you know if you ate 1,000 or 4,000? You have to keep track of those things. The same is true on your finances. If you know, hey, I can't spend more than $200 a month on eating out for lunch, how do you know when you hit the $200 a month if you don't track and measure? If you need to be saving 10% of your pay and you're not measuring how much you're saving, how do you know when you hit the 10%? What if you accidentally saved 15? Listen, there are worse things in the world, but if that money needed to be used somewhere else and you weren't tracking and measuring what you were saving, how do you know what you actually did? So I decided I would make my life easy. I use apps. I use apps to track what I eat. I use apps to track my exercise, and I use apps to track my fitness, my finances as well. But you don't have to use an app. You can use a pen and paper. You can use an Excel spreadsheet. It doesn't matter which way you track. You need to track the way that works best for you, but you need to track what you do. All right, let's do a quick recap. Number 1, repetition matters. You can't just do it once. Number 2, your diet matters. Not going on a diet, but your consistent daily eating habits. And on the financial side, your consistent daily spending habits matter. Find yourself an accountability buddy. Follow a routine. Get yourself a trainer and track and measure what you do. It's all hard, I get it, until it's not. You see, once you do these things for a period of time, then it becomes a part of your life and your lifestyle, and then it's actually harder to not do it than it is to do it. The key is pushing through, getting through the soreness, and becoming more physically and financially fit. All right, diets suck, lifestyles stick. I'll leave you with that. And that's it for today's episode. Thank you for joining me. If you got some value out of it, please do me a favor, share it with your friends. Rate us on the podcast app that you're watching us on, or give us a thumbs up on YouTube. If you've got questions about your own money puzzle, email them over to questions@yourmoneypuzzle.com. That's it for this week. Be safe. Go out and do something to improve your money puzzle. Your future self will be glad you did, and I'll see you next week.
Registered representative of and securities offered through Securities Management and Research, Inc., SM&R. Member FINRA SIPC. Investment advisory services offered through BFC Planning, Inc. Edgen Insurance and Financial Services, Johnson Financial Services, SM&R, American National Family of Companies, and BFC Planning are independent entities. There are risks involved with investing which may include market fluctuation and possible loss of principal value. Particular investments may not be suitable for certain situations. Carefully consider the risks and possible consequences involved prior to making an investment decision. Our firm does not provide legal or tax advice. Be sure to consult with your own legal and tax advisors before taking any action that may have tax implications.